Hello teacups, welcome back to another video. So I finally made it through the documentary of Wendy Williams, and man, I tell you, it was something really hard to watch. It's hard to even describe what I was viewing, what I was seeing, but there are some celebrities that can put into words what we may have been feeling when we were watching this documentary. Take a look.
So this is a follow-up to the TikTok that I posted about Wendy Williams this past Sunday, a couple days ago. And first of all, I am shocked by the response that I got to that video. I mean, over 5 million people watched it, and I would say 98% of the response is very positive, agree with me, and think it was horrible that Wendy was shown in the light that she was shown. I did want to address a couple things. One is that people say, oh, this is karma. This is what she gets because of her show, and she would talk about people. And I just want to tell people out there, again, I know Wendy personally. I think she's a wonderful human being, a big heart, very generous. And what you're seeing on the show is not the Wendy Williams you would see if she was in her right mind, not dealing with health issues and not having a problem with alcohol. She does a show where she did talk about celebrities. And that's what that show was about. She talked about celebrities, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But when you are a public figure, you are opening yourself up to criticism. That's what comes with this. Not everybody loves me, and they write bad things about me and don't like me. You know what? I personally don't care. I don't read that stuff. I think I wouldn't stand there as long as I have if people generally didn't like me. And I think that's the case with Wendy. Now, if that's your opinion, fine, I respect it. But it's not karma, because Wendy didn't show anybody at their lowest with a camera and showing them struggling with their health issues or addiction, dealing with medical issues, putting them in a very bad light, showing, physical ailments that nobody really wants to see. Okay, so that's the difference. Wendy should not be exposed like this to the public. You want to say, hey, she lost her show because of medical issues. You want to say, hey, good riddance, she's not on air. That's fair. But to have somebody at their lowest and being put on camera like that, when I don't think she really knows what's going on, I don't think that's fair. Again, if you don't like Wendy, I respect your opinion. But as far as karma goes, no, I don't agree with that.
Also, medical professionals have weighed in on Wendy Williams' condition. Here's what one had to say on TikTok.
It was hard to hear that Wendy Williams is suffering from frontotemporal dementia, the same kind that Bruce Willis is. She's only 59 years old. She had to stop production of her show 2 years ago because of her early signs of frontotemporal dementia, which was, in this case, aphasia. Now, aphasia is finding the right word, which we all have sometimes difficulty doing, but it can become constant and more difficult, and that is an early sign of a brain problem. Frontotemporal dementia has to do with the frontal part of the brain, this frontal lobe of the brain, which is the filter. That is also, think about someone who has alcohol. The more alcohol you drink, the more you shut down that filter. People who drink a lot of alcohol will say things they would never normally say in public. People with frontotemporal dementia will say things and do things that one would never do in public because that frontal lobe is not developed properly. It's just deteriorating over time from dementia. The reasons people get dementia are complex. We know some of them. We know that she suffered from addictions of cocaine and alcoholism. Both of those are an increased risk of dementia. Other things that can cause an increased risk of dementia include histories of depression, people who have poor diets, age, male sex. Those are other things. And even though there are certain things that we can do to decrease our risk of dementia, for example, a Mediterranean-style diet decreases your risk of dementia by those who adhere to it by as much as 53%. That's not zero. It still means people can still get it. It just means that we can reduce your risk of getting it. And we are going to hear more and more about dementia as time goes on. Now, some people will say it's all the statins being out there. Statins do not increase your risk of dementia. They actually decrease your risk of dementia. And specifically, they will decrease something called vascular dementia, which is what my mother suffered from. My mother, like Wendy Williams, had a fierce brain. And it is so hard seeing someone with that brilliant brain, that great intelligence, slowly lose it. Just for a few things, they estimate that she has about 12 to 13 years left of life, because that's what happens with that type of dementia. Vascular dementia, like my mother had, was about a 5-year course. Alzheimer's about a 12 to 14-year-old course. Why? What happens to the brain? The brain deteriorates so much that it actually loses its ability to do the executive functions involved in breathing, involved in heart rate, involved in all those things your body needs. And that's what ultimately people die from when they have dementia. So, horrible disease. We have 6.5 million people now who are suffering from it. It's going to only continue unless we have medical breakthroughs. But what you can do to help decrease your risk of this, can't decrease it to zero again, fruits, vegetables, Mediterranean-style diet, exercise, talking, social communications. Keep your brain active by learning new things and doing all that. That's the best you can do. And as soon as we have a medical breakthrough, I promise I will be on here immediately touting it. Until then, do the things that you can do. Eat well, live well, enjoy the life, use your brain. Thanks. If you like this, like, follow, share.
So after viewing the documentary, my final thoughts is that I think Wendy should be with her family. She said she wanted to go back to Miami, and I think that's what she should do. She shouldn't have been separated from her family in the first place, and I think it was really a disservice to Wendy Williams to court appoint someone like a legal guardian, a professional guardian, to take over her finances. I feel like that her family helping her would have been in her best interest. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching this very short video and very emotional video and heartfelt. Prayers up for Wendy Williams. God bless her.